Remember, I used to say it's rolling. Welcome to Postcards from Lowell.
Yay!
Lights.
Rolling.
Sound.
Rolling.
Camera.
Rolling.
Action.
Ta-da!
Welcome, folks. Another issue of Postcards from Lowell, and today has been a challenging day for Postcards from Lowell.
Whew.
We had electrical and phone problems, and that meant we may not have been on the air today. However, we hustled all morning and we were able to work around it, thanks for the invention of extension cords.
We used our Yankee ingenuity.
Yes, we did.
Every bit of it is gone now for the rest of the day. That's
who
it,
knows?
forever. None
Anyway,
left.
with Postcards from Lowell, and this Lowell sign, courtesy, and this phone. Hello, sorry, wrong number. Anyway, the phone, courtesy of Joan. The postcard from Lowell, courtesy of Chris Susie and Megan Jones. And my favorite drinking utensil, Justin's glass, courtesy of Carol Cooper. Even the warm, sediment-loaded coffee tastes better in this. So anyway, welcome, folks, and I just did a weather check. Right now we're on remote. We're not in Lowell again this week. We were last week, but we're on remote here in Savannah, Georgia, which is 9 degrees warmer than Lowell right now. And that's kind of close on a scale, so I mean, it's not much of a difference. And it's supposed to be 42 there, and it's 51 here. But Savannah has two temperatures. There's one for the air base and one for here. For downtown, which is about 3 miles apart. Why you need two temperatures? And sometimes they're 3 degrees difference. So I guess they do. Anyway, that's crazy. So my first postcard from Lowell is a story about what happened one Christmas. Now, this involves my parents, of course, and at that time, I only had one brother and sister, Sandra and Richard. Joni and Paul weren't in the picture yet. They came later.
Wait a minute, I gotta fix this around. Hold on a minute.
And more technical difficulties.
Yeah, oh boy, Mary Ann did a good one. I'll just do it this way. I want to go backwards and I don't know how to do it, so we're just gonna, I don't see the circle thing.
Am I on camera?
No.
Why?
Because
What's the day's been like today?
this is it.
I go to the doctor and they said you were supposed to be here yesterday, this morning. Everything today is...
We'll just do it this way, not to worry everybody. A little more Yankee ingenuity involved.
How you doing, Jeannie? Lordy, oh my, I believe Carol Cooper is watching.
Carol
anyway,
Cooper is watching.
Have faith, we will get through this. So my postcard from Lowell has to do basically with a Christmas story. I know that's come and gone, but this was a Christmas story. It happened, I was about 9 years old. And my parents would give us back then, and you have to put it in the dollars then. They'd give us, me and Sandra and Richard, $2 to shop for. We had to shop for 4, our parents and my brother and sister. So that's, do the math, 50 cents a piece. And you could get some swell stuff for 50 cents back then, back in the 50s. Anyway, so that was great. We go downtown Lowell and we buy stuff. Now, I remember, I got Sandra a beautiful pin like some old lady would wear on her dress. But I thought it was cool. It was a butterfly. And she loved it. Got it for 50 cents or less. I forget what I got my brother. Anyhow, and I forget what I got my parents. Although it might have been my mother might have been that 69-cent planter, tiger planter. Mary Ann's going to bring it in and show you. And my father usually got him shaving cream. Let me just hold it in front of the camera before I drop it. See this beautiful planter? 69 cents. In fact, when I gave it to my mother that Christmas, and she says, "You got this with the $2 we gave you for everyone?" I said, "Yeah." She She said, how much did it cost? I said, 69 cents. It's still stamped on the bottom, 69. She said, they must have mismarked it. Anyway, she loved it. And I have it now, and we always think of her when we see it. And there's a little plant in there Mary Ann takes care of. So that was it. But the rest of the story gets better. I get Richard, I'm sure, a toy. Now, I'm 9 years old. I want a toy for Christmas. It's that simple. So, and my parents were very generous to us. At Christmas time, we did very well. It was never a problem with that. They, got us whatever with the bikes or whatever we needed, the sleds, a lot of other stuff. So now, Sandra says, I get you each the same thing. And this is about 2 weeks before Christmas. And the box was about that long and that high and about an inch thick. And she's just teasing us. It was all wrapped up, right? Now, I don't want to know before Christmas what I'm getting. But now, Richard and I, what could it be? I said, a jackknife. She says, no. Man, a jackknife, that's a perfect size. A jackknife would fit. And she said, I didn't get you a jackknife. I couldn't think of anything else it could have been. Richard and I are racking our brains. Christmas morning comes. Richard and I get up the same time, still dark out, and go running out into the front room where the Christmas tree was and all the gifts. Santa Claus came. It was outstanding. And then Sandra gets up shortly after. And we couldn't open the gifts until my parents were up too. So it was torture. Richard and I are holding that gift, waiting to tear the paper off it to see what that swell gift was. So anyway, my parents come up, and Sandra opens her gift from me, and then her one from Richard. And she loved her pin that I got her. I remember that because she reminded me of that for years. And anyway, whatever Richard got her, I'm sure it was some kind of a toy or a coloring book or some bunch of crayons. So now, she opened that, and Richard and I mean, we're just diving into that package. Not a big package, but the paper, we couldn't get it off. We opened it, both of us said at the same time, a bow tie? And she's laughing. She thought it was a riot. You got us a bow tie for Christmas? And we each took the bow tie and slammed it on the floor. That was our way of saying, thanks for the bow tie. A bow tie? I'm 9. I said, clothing, it's something your parents buy you when it's school year. A bow tie, how could you do that? And she loved it for years and years. I mean, as adults, so long after we had grown up, she'd say, hey, remember the bow tie? Yeah, thanks, Sandra. I haven't forgotten it. Nor would I. She said, I still have that pin. I love that little pin. A little frog or a butterfly. I think it was a frog, a little frog pin. I was glad you liked it, But it was so bad that she couldn't, and now she can't stop it. She couldn't stop it the rest of her life. Anyway,
I got a little Christmas story, too.
Oh, please. Mary Ann, I just wanted to tell you, our buddy Chad Carvel, last week, the week before, this week, Chad can't make it. However, don't feel bad for him. He's got a sweetheart deal. He gets time and a half if he's not here. So anyway, so that, Chad, we miss you. We love you. We know you can't be here, but hurry back. So, anyway.
This was Christmas BC, before Cooper. And I think my girls were maybe 8 and 11 at the time. And we never made a big deal out of Christmas, but they always got what they wanted, what they needed, and always a surprise or two along the way. Well, one year, all of the relatives gave something. It was a relatively small family, so you could afford to do that. And the girls from their aunt, and I won't say her name, they were just
antifreeze?
Yeah, antifreeze. Well, could be. And so they, the presents were all under the tree from the entire family, and they're opening one at a time, and they get to Auntie and Uncle's present, and they open it up. And the same reaction that Bill had for the bow tie. Now he's 8 and 11. There's toys and a few clothes and what have you, things that are fun and
Christmas is for kids.
Yeah. And they opened it up and they turned it around and they showed me.
And
Each one of them got an umbrella.
you know, when you get older, you realize these are thoughtful, nice
It's not a
gifts.
bad gift.
An umbrella at least has a purpose. That has a purpose.
Yeah.
There's no purpose
There's
for a bow
no
tie.
redeeming quality
There's
for
no
this at
purpose
all.
for a bow tie. What purpose is there for a bow tie?
I don't know if the kids ever used that umbrella. I don't know. I don't even know where they put it. They certainly didn't put it in their rooms. And they wrote her a nice thank you card. It's a swell gift.
Well, since we're on the Christmas theme, now another Christmas. My mother's mother, Goldie, she was a sweetheart. She was just a little short, round, lovely, never saw her not smiling. This woman had 12 kids. She should never...
She wasn't smiling. She's smiling?
Yeah, she was always smiling.
There's something wrong with her.
I know. I mean, but honestly, what a nice grandmother. What a nice person. She was a sweetheart. So one Christmas, and she didn't have much. Brought up 12 kids. Never had much. But again, back in those days, if you could get a Christmas present for 50 cents, we each get a Christmas card one year, and we opened it on, don't open it till Christmas, we opened it, and she had a dollar bill in there. This is after we had spent our $2. Now we have a whole new dollar. You know, a dollar meant 20 fightsickles. That's how big a dollar was.
Yeah.
So we open ours, and then Sandra opens hers, the luck of Christmas for Sandra. And she says, oh, look, there's $2 in there. These were brand new dollars, so one of them had stuck to the other one. So my mother said, oh, well, geez, I'll have to call her and tell her. So I remember she goes to the phone and she calls her and we thanked her for the present. She said, I just want to tell you that, Sandra, you put an extra one in by mistake. We'll give it back to you. And she says, no, she can keep it. And I'm thinking, hold on, 33 cents a piece. Sandra, you can have the 34 cents. That's what I mean, but that's what she meant by keeping it.
Yeah, split it.
No, it's mine. And she's
Split it equally.
parading around with her $2. I don't think it was the same year of the bow tie, because I didn't speak to her much that day after that. So that's my postcard from Lowell. Another true story.
This is what we do all day, every day.
What?
Reminisce.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have to.
In our rocking chairs. Oh, there goes paint a picture.
So as I said earlier, hey, Joan Cooper, Lanza, hi. Carol Cooper and Alfie.
And I think I saw Jeannie's name up there before.
Alfie and Jeannie, and the gang's watching. Thank you, kids. We do appreciate you watching this. We try to have fun with it, and we do. Anyway, as always, we never script this. Whatever happens, happens. And we like to keep it that way, keep it fresh. So, anyway, that takes care of Christmas. Did you folks know, April 1st this year will be 1 year since we started this show. And as I said, we started it in April because by then the COVID was spreading pretty rapidly.
Yes.
And people were getting down. They couldn't go to work. They couldn't get, things were sad, and they still are for a lot of people, and we do our best to help where we can. But I just thought, people need a laugh. So I started this silly show. It started at 15 minutes, and sometimes we go over to almost 20 minutes in that. So, again, we have fun doing it. All it is to give you a smile and let you know that no matter what happens, that everyone's in it together, and we'll get through it together. That's the main thing.
That's in question. Get through it together.
You and I will. We'll get through this. Every time, something goes wrong and one of us is putting our hands up in the air and making up new swears, the other one says, that's right, we'll get through this together.
Yeah. It's very comforting.
But when I say that to Mac, all I hear is, no, we won't. Yeah,
this
we will.
Isn't working.
Yeah, we'll get through this together. Anyhow, that's that. What do you got? Anything to tell the good people about?
About you?
Oh, yeah, well, go ahead.
Yeah,
I'll
go ahead. Well, there's
better.
a pork chop story, but I won't get into that right now.
Not on this. Folks, if you haven't heard the pork chop story, please
you're in for a treat.
Never ask her. And it was probably a funny story the 800-900th time she told it to people, but it's losing its glamour.
Unbelievable. There's so many stories about Bill that just, it just goes on and on. And some of them are funny, some of them are serious, and it just goes to show that he's just kind of a well-rounded individual, very intelligent, very funny, good conversationalist, a good cook. So, hey, there you go. Phew.
Wow.
Get off the ice pack.
No, don't stop. Anyone that knows Marianne and I, they know one thing. We get along. And
Yeah.
the reason we get along is we respect each other.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. If you don't respect the person you're with, it shows. It doesn't take long. It'll show. And we've been married 29 years this year. So this is, this is a good thing we have going. I'm very happy.
Yeah.
And I never speak for Marianne, but I'm very happy.
Yeah, I am too.
That's what I said. I won't
That's
speak
the right
for you.
answer, isn't it?
Anyway, so that's...
Way back when we were first married, we were fortunate to do some traveling. And one of the places we went, I think it might have been Arizona, you said, where that woman, we were just talking with someone and...
Yes, it was.
asking,
She worked at
Arizona.
the VA.
She worked
In
at the
Phoenix,
VA, yes. And Bill had done some volunteering for the VA, and we just stopped in and said, hey, anyway, we, on the way leaving, and we said our goodbyes, and she turned to us and she said, have a blessed day. Well, that's the first time we ever heard that expression coming from the Northeast. It wasn't something that anybody said on a regular basis. Then you come down here, and you hear it
A lot.
every day.
Yeah.
It's a very common. Anyway, so we're blessed, both of us.
We are. And again, it's like anything. It's work. Now, every day has been easy? No, of course not. Every day isn't easy for anyone. But again, half of it's attitude, too. If you know Marianne, and you have a problem with Marianne, look at yourself. You're the one with the problem, because she is a terrific person, and it's that simple. She's just a good person. Those are the two words I use to describe her. Good person. Does the right thing. And anyway, and speaking of volunteering, she's volunteering now for the USO out at the airport, welcoming our troops
Terrific job.
back and taking off, and just a nice thing to do, and the best person to do it right here is
I'm having fun.
Yep. So, hey, we're just about done. This has been
we have to say hi to
a pleasure seeing all you folks.
Catherine,
Hey, Catherine Harrington, how you doing?
Bradley,
And
Joan. We said Joan again.
Yep.
And Joan again. Oh, she's probably said
Is
something.
she asking questions?
You guys have made quarantine happy.
Oh,
yay!
isn't that
Thank you,
swell?
Joan.
Joan.
Alfie, hey Alfie, thanks for joining us. And Jeannie and Carol.
Bunch
I
of
think
hellos.
we're all set with the
Yeah,
hellos.
and as I say, this week we're on remote. We're actually in Savannah, Georgia, which is 9 degrees warmer than Lowell right now. And, next week we'll probably be back in Lowell. We always do the show from Lowell. We fly up there overnight. We do it. We come back. It's, and that's where we do the show from, right, hon?
That's another Bill story.
Yeah, that's another Bill story. Anyway, thank you so much. We didn't have any calls today because we didn't have handsome Chad here that all these lovelies want to date. And but hopefully he's back next week. He really has had things that he couldn't be here. And,
We miss him.
yeah, something bad. Anyway, thanks for watching. We love you. And we'll be on again next week. And happy trails.
Same time, same place.
You betcha.
See you all.